Can anyone see the screen, or are we just black? Yeah, so I do like AMC's setup here. We're going to take the 42 call expiring next week, and that'll be our only trade for the day. So that's 2.65 on the October 1st 42 call. I may have just missed my opportunity, but we'll see what happens. 2.65, confirm, and we'll go to one contract. So that's the AMC 42 call 10-1, and we're trying to get filled at 2.65. Should get filled any second here, and then we'll start to see this should bottom out here. That's where all my TA for the past week has said would bottom out. So to do it again real quick, alright, we just got filled at 2.65, and that's on the 10-1. But to do it again real quick, so that's going to be our only trade. It's actually the entire net worth of the account right now, but it's going to be a swing trade, and we should see a nice strong pivot from here. We should end the day pretty green. So if I look at a 2-hour chart, so you can see what I'm talking about, this was an ABC, so I will show you. Drawings, remove, let's go to a new one. Okay, so if we do our A down, just measure the top to the bottom of this push down, and then our B up, and then one more from there, our C down. So do you see how that lined up perfectly? That is an ABC correction to its fullest. So A, B, and then C. And then what we should start to see is a strong pivot up. We're already up 3% on the trade, and it's been 1 minute. But we'll see where it goes from here. Nope. Everyone in the Discord, sorry about the morning trades. The market did not do what I expected it to do. It's just bleeding. So I actually am red on the main account for the day. And that's the first time I've been red in a long time. I'm swinging Microsoft just because it's not a very large push, and whenever you see big red days on Microsoft, it almost always snaps back the next day, so I'm not going to exit that one. The dailies on SPY, we zipped right the fuck out of those because you can only hold a position for so long. For AMC, we're already up 5%, and that's a couple minutes later. So, alright, that's the only trade I'll be taking on this account today because I have $1.51 left. It's a relatively safe trade to swing. We have just about 2 weeks on it. And as you can see, it lined up perfectly with the ABC correction, and it should start to pivot up from here. So if we look at a 3-minute, we entered here. And now we're already starting to see. So the biggest thing on why I entered was I saw this massive volume come in, so I jumped on my stream. The only trade I took was the AMC swing, which was 2.65 on the 42 call expiring October 1st. So that's the only trade we're taking in the account today because we don't have any more money left in it. Now we might exit it before the end of the day. Say if we hit the 100% mark on it, then we would exit quickly because there's no reason to, swing something in this market condition if we're already at 100% and I only have one contract. But for now, we should see a strong continuation up to at least the 41 level. And then we'll be starting to look at the call volume, or the call pricing will start to switch back to where it should be. The implied volatility will start to rise a little bit. But yeah, that's the only trade. So currently it's trading 2.76. We got in 2.65. And if you look at it, which we'll show you on the right side, the low of the day was 2.35. We got in here at 2.65. It's already up to 2.76. And that should just continue bullishly. So that is it for the day, and I am going to get the fuck off of trading just because I don't like to overtrade, and I'm going to jump back on my main account if I stay on here. And if I do that, I'll probably end up losing more money rather than just, taking my small loss for the day and seeing how it pans out into the end of the day with my Microsoft call, which I'll pull up here real quick. We entered a call here. It went 30 or 10% in our favor, and then I'm swinging it, so I didn't worry about it, but it's already down. So we had this call at 2.1. So that was on my main account from the Discord, and then for AMC, we're chilling. So you see how this volume all came in huge? Volume precedes price action, so my anticipation is that we'll see at least 41.54 for the rest of the day. And I don't think we'll break below this mark again, but I gave us 2 weeks on it, so I took the contract on 10-1, and that way, regardless of what happens today, it won't be too big of a price action effect unless it just tanks. And then from here, we should see a bullish continuation into tomorrow for AMC, especially if the market bottoms out, which I think it will. Unfortunately, though, we might want to exit that Microsoft call because the market is not bottoming out. So retail did get back from lunch. That was what I was hoping for, is that they'd buy the dip. It looks like they're selling the dip. So we'll see how everything pans out, but AMC should be good. It's back down to 1.72 if anyone wanted to get in closer to the entry I took. And then the big concern on AMC is if we break below the intraday low, it'll find more downside, but we're already down 9%. I doubt it goes down anymore. And then you can look at the volume profiles, decreasing volume for the red candles, increasing for the bullish, so it should have a strong push up. I took the 10-1 42 call, so my break even if I draw it, so just to kind of visualize how options work, this is where we entered, right? And then we need to, by 10-1, we need to be trading at $44, and what was my entry, 265, so 44.62 would pretty much do it, but let's activate this so it look like that. Alright, so this is pretty much where we need to have our thing trading at for us to break even. So when you go back to your other chart, if you break too far below this trend line, you just want to get out, but more than likely we'll start to go up, and that's where you start to see massive call gains coming in. So that was the only trade. And it's actually below where we entered now, so cheers for anyone who came on late. That's the trade I'm taking, and I'm sticking with it. We'll see how it pans out for me. We're down 5% now. We were just up 5%. It'll see little swings like this, though, especially because the market's so shaky. It's falling with the rest of the market, and SPY is not bottoming out. Like, this is not a bottom out. It's actually blowing my mind. Whatever. So before I jump off here, anyone have any chart requests? This will start moving back in our favor. And I am going to put that into my Discord. See all these big buys coming in? That's good. And just like that, we should be back to green. And that'll do the trades for everything, guys. We should be sitting very pretty by the end of the day. Because I think that we'll actually see a pushback to the 50s before the end of the week. And then our call will have a whole nother week on it. So we can actually do some cool shit with it. Actually, I don't know that we can. But there we go. So yeah, back to green on that. The only trade I took today was this position, the SPY AMC 42 call for October 1st. We're up $3. And we like this, right? We like seeing big ass buy orders coming in at the 40 mark. It broke a little bit below it. It actually did a perfect ABC, and now it's starting to pivot up. And then when you zoom into like a 9-minute chart or something a little bigger, you'll start to see what I'm saying. We're getting big bullish volume coming in. So the bearish volume is being eclipsed, which means it's just the sign of a bottoming out stock. So assuming that the market doesn't just fucking free fall, which it doesn't look like it's going to, it's only down 2%, we should see a nice pivot up in the pricing. Cool. Alright, while I'm on here, does anyone have any chart requests? I got about 10 minutes before I'm going to go take off and not be on my thing anymore. Yeah, I am still holding Microsoft. I'm going to swing that. It should go green by tomorrow. So we just saw a bullish engulfing on a 6-minute too here. So as soon as we confirm this, it'll start to break up to the 41 mark. And then we'll be sitting very green on the trade. For this account, I'm going to just do smaller, higher conviction trades just because it wasn't working with the other strategy. So this way I'm locked into something that's 2 weeks out, and we can see a moderate price swing each day. The reason I jumped on early was because it hit my alert. So my expected pivot was 39.54. It bottomed out with massive volume at 39.69. They're relatively close considering I gauged it a couple days ago. We could actually make it even tighter. It's probably perfect. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely perfect. I'm sick. ABC, baby. But yeah, this is the engulfing that we want to see. And watch what happens as soon as we see an increase in volume on this candle, which still has 1 more minute. If it closes above this one, the next one will be very green. So there's the volume, and it just did engulf. So now we'll see a continuation to the upside. People will start closing their shorts, and then we'll start to retest all the resistances for the day. So yeah, we should be green on that trade. We're up a little bit of money on it. We're up 5%. Yeah, the 42 call, 510. Or 10-1. I didn't want to do anything risky that would fuck us if we had a small gap down, just because I did that last week. So we took 1 extra week on it. So we're 2 weeks out, and we're very close to the money. So 42 is only up here. And again, this is the trend line we need to stay on. This stay green. But yeah, we just had our engulfing. So now here comes the fun stuff. And then let's look at those charts. I see ADR. I can pull that up. I don't know what it is. It's fucking green. It's 21%, 17% green on this day. That's pretty sweet. Oh, there's an ABC here. So this probably won't be an ABC. This will probably be a continuation to highs. There's no volume on the downticks, but it did seem to have strong resistance at the zone here. So ADR, if we can break through 13.5 to 13.24, it'll see massive continuations up, like another impulse. If not, it'll come back down to support here at 11.91. So those are the moves on ADR, so it'll do one of those. What was the next request? SDC. So is this an ABC? Looks like it. So A down. Fix it a little bit. So A was down, and then B came up, and then C came down. It actually overshot a little bit, so it might not be an ABC. It did, but it's such a volatile stock that it'll be interesting to see. Most of the volume's in the bearish candle here, so it might be a 5-wave push down. I'm hesitant on entering anything into this. It did double bottom here, but there's still this massive gap down to 6 that could be filled. And if you look at the potential for a 5-wave, it'd put us right to the bottom of the gap. So it's a little hesitant on this. It could be an ABC that overshot, or it could be a 5-wave push down. So the next thing you'll do is just draw your fib from your high to your low here. And it barely, so with almost no volume, it came up and touched the 50 retrace. Sorry, it was actually a little lower. Yeah, so with almost no volume, it touched the 50 retrace, so it might not be a good entry on Smile Direct here. I think a better entry would be around the 6 mark. So edit your properties, create an alert on that, and then if you want to be risky, you could take it there. Just play careful. AMC is starting to go even more green. So that's what happens if you see a bullish engulfing plus an increase in volume. It's going to retest the next resistance, which we see here, and then this should actually impulse back to 42 by the end of the day, and that'll be a nice 30% play there. We're already up 8. All right, we can do a couple more charts real quick. BlackBerry. Whoa, 9.32, that's a big ass fucking dip. So we have a bullish engulfing, but there's still more volume in the bearish side of things, so we need to see this candle go green plus more volume so that it eclipses this bearish push. It's holding support nicely though, so it'll be interesting. And then let's go to like a 4-hour on it. Oh, nice. AMC's even more green. That should be 10% on AMC. Very good. SPY's bottoming? No. So we're going to go back to a BlackBerry bigger chart and see what's going on. So it's actually at a very firm support here. If you look how many times it bounced off of this, it's a lot. So the one below it, though, it's a little intimidating, right? There's a big difference in these 5 prices. So BlackBerry might be a good entry here, honestly, at 937. If I did take a trade on this, it would be the 10-1-9-5 call, and I would put that's at 0.6, so that would be 0.57 on that, the 10-1-9-5 call. Because it's very easily going to go back to 10 in the next couple weeks. Very possible, right? So it's a relatively safe trade. Plus, you're trading it at a support that's bounced off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So if you give yourself about 2 weeks on that, it could be okay. The concern is we're still dipping, right? And then it's far and few between. Like it can go all the way down to 764, which is very unlikely, but it's plausible on a market day like this. Plus, it has earnings coming up on 9/22, so I wouldn't trade it. The earnings itself is a bad catalyst. It increases the volatility, so the contracts will be too high. AMC's bouncing hard, so yeah, we're sitting pretty on AMC, but that should be a very good trade for us. So yeah, it's retesting, as you can see, it's retesting all of the resistances, right? And then the big thing is we just don't want to see a floor drop. So we just want to hold all of these supports. Each candle that does this, it'll go right to the next resistance. That's how it'll move. And then eventually, if we can break through this one, it'll impulse back to 41.60. And then we'll be sitting on a very green day. So we should be good. It is going to be an overnight hold unless it goes about 100% green, just because it's such a low IV spot and it's in the buyer's side of the market. No, I'm probably swinging the AMC one. I think that'll be at least a 100%, if not like a 1,000% trade. Wow, Pinterest looks shitty. Looks like it might break its support here. So yeah, now this candle also continued the uptrend, right? So they tried to push us back down. It held support, and this means with that we'll go right up to 41.08 next. So it's kind of how you can gauge how things will play off. But the big thing that we noticed, right, is we charted out the ABC on the large fractal, which happened 6 days ago. I put up a post about it, and it got 0 likes because it was bearish, but that's kind of how it goes. And then now in hindsight, everyone's going to be like, holy shit, should have saved my money, whatever. That's how it goes. But here's the indication, right? So we came to the C zone. So the actual expected C was 39.62, and we pivoted at 39.69. And then the big thing that on why we entered, or rather why I jumped on my stream, was that I saw the massive volume spike come in. So as soon as I see that volume spike, I want to look to get into an entry. I ended up getting in at 2.65. It's up to 2.8 now. And then if I'm smart, I can put a stop at 2.7. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to chill. And then the market itself is starting to bottom out too. So this will pan into AMC going higher. There is more sellers than buyers right now, but the price is continuously moving up, so that'll change in just a few minutes. BlackBerry, we could take a look at that again. It did seem to pivot, so pivoted pretty hard with AMC. So that call, if we had entered it, would be up $3. Let's look at Microsoft because I'm in that. I don't really want to look at it, but it is bottoming out. It looks like the whole market's finally bottoming out. I would like to see where or why, so I'm going to look at a 4-hour on SPY and then see if this lines up with anything big. It does. We filled this gap here, so this gap, right? Well, we almost filled it. We're at the top of it. It'll probably have room to run down to 431. So we'll chill on SPY, but I fucked up SPY today. I had such a good entry and then two very bad plays. Very bad. On CEI, I think it's a shitty stock that's getting pumped by... Yeah. I mean, it's bull flagging. It could pivot from here, but that's a lot of sell potential. I wouldn't touch it. Materials, meh. Smile Direct, yeah, like I said, it doesn't seem very safe. BlackBerry, starting to pivot. AMC, beautiful things. Beautiful things coming. Microsoft's just fucking going red. That's brutal. I don't like that. I don't like that. That means the market's going red too. Yep, we're going down to 430. 430.8. There's zero gaps that need to be filled on AMC anymore, so this could be a straight shot in the next few days, especially with the market going so red. We should see shorts are more likely to close their successful short position. So this was a successful short, and they'll probably close that out and start to switch to longs and other stocks. So I'm happy with this trade. Microsoft starting to bounce a little. This is bearish. I thought that we'd see the bullish reversal here. We started to, and then it just went red on me. Everything fucking went red on me today, so we'll chill on the swing trades and then see how everything else pans out. But for today, I'm done trading. I did take this trade in my Roth as well with a large amount of money, so very high conviction trade. It should pan out for us in the next week, or in the next day, if not the next week. We have 2 weeks on it. But I don't see it going any further than 38. 38 is the absolute low, and because we have so much time, it should be fine. Here she goes. I'm excited about this trade. I think you guys will be very pleased with it as well. BBIG, I've been bearish on BBIG for a while. It did double bottom here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if it lines up. So grab this drawing and then put it over here. It should line up. Yeah, it looks like this should be a 5-wave completed. So it'll probably do an ABC up. So A, B, C, and then another 5-wave push down to the 5 mark or even the 3 mark. But it should have an ABC continuation up. So if you count the 5s down, right, so we're finally in a 5-wave push. Wish. I don't know why anyone would touch Wish. This is a shit show. Ader, we can go back to Ader real quick. Yeah, so the 13.5 mark on Ader, like I was mentioning, if we go to like our 9-minute chart again, we're in that pivot zone. So the bears will want to short here. If it picks up enough volume to go through the 13.51 resistance, then it could go all the way to 14.5 today or higher. But that's kind of my look on Ader. See, still decreasing bearish volume, increasing bullish. It'll pivot hard. The whole market, it's fucking red, man. It's red. It's a bloody day. It's gonna be my first red day in almost a month on my main account. But that shit happens. You can't let it get to you. And you can't keep trading. If you have a red day, just cut your losses and be like, all right, it was not the greatest morning. So the only reason I jumped back on was because AMC was so high conviction. It might actually bring me back to green on the day with my Roth trade in it. But that's kind of how I trade, right? If I have a very bad morning, then I'm not going to keep trading the whole day. It clearly, at least anecdotally, leads to more losses when I do that. So for AMC though, this is such a high conviction trade, guys. It's like such a high conviction trade. And then I'll pull up Unusual Whales' flow for everyone real quick too. So this is the SPY flow. Let's refresh it and see what's going on. What is SPY flow first? Very bearish. Floor is going bullish though. And floor is going bearish and bullish. So yeah, it's pretty 50-50 on SPY, and then we'll go over to AMC. My filters might not work too well on AMC. They're too big right now. So as you can see, it's about 50-50, but that's what you expect when you're in a bearish push into the pivot, right? So this isn't a problem, what we're seeing. It'll be problematic if we break below 39, or 40 rather, but I don't see that happening. I think that big buyers start to come in, and then we start to see the 10-1 42 calls being sold. They're bought. Someone bought a 924 for, they bought, oh Jesus, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah, people are putting big money on both sides of this trade right now. So we'll see. We'll see how she pans out, but I'm happy with it. That'll do it for me for today, everyone. We'll see how everything closes out. I'll jump back on around 3 p.m. I'm going to take care of some other work until then, just to get my head out of the trading cycle, because if you start... Yeah, absolutely. I did check BlackBerry. It's sitting on a very firm support, but if it breaks through it, it's going down. It's going way down. So chilling on BlackBerry. I wouldn't enter it right now just because it has earnings in 2 days. The implied volatility is going to be increased because of the earnings in 2 days, so keep that in mind. AMC doing well. Oh, sorry y'all. Let me fix this. Haha, we're back. So for BlackBerry, it's sitting on a support, but the reason I don't like it is it has earnings in 2 days at the end of the day. And that increases the entire cost of both sides of the options chain because it's extra implied volatility, right? So it's priced in. So I would chill on BlackBerry for now. AMC should be free to run for the rest of the day. As soon as we confirm that this candle isn't going to be fully bearish, which we'll find out, in 10 minutes or so, we'll be good. But yeah, that's why we went with the 10-1 on AMC, just because we do want a little bit of time for this to bottom out and pivot back bullishly. But that's just incredibly bullish, this candle. That's the bottom out. So if you ever see, major push down and then an evening star like this, if it's in your C zone, it's a high conviction trade. Everything should be a trade like this, but it only lines up so often. So we actually are down money on this right now, but again, not even slightly worried about it. This will be a winner. And if it's not, we'll figure it out. SPY looks like it might be bottoming out, but this is gonna have one more push down, I think. Crazy. Alright, I'm getting off. Cheers, everyone. We should see AMC do wonderful things through close. Hold me to it. Let me know if it doesn't. I'm going to get some work done in the meantime. And then this trade will be the only one I take on the day for the account. I'm hoping that it's at least 100% trade. So if we get back to where we opened yesterday, it'll be well over 100%. and that'll bring us back to the 500 mark, and then we can start working again from there. But yeah, life's good, everyone. I appreciate this challenge, and I can't wait to bring it back to the 25K mark. It'll take a little longer than anticipated from the looks of it, but with all these market dips, it should actually pan out really well in our favor, especially if this one trade gets us liquidity to play with. Then we can start taking lots of trades in the other indexes. Like I mentioned before, unless we are completely down to, let's say, $100, I'm not going to restart it. I'm just going to use the initial 500. That way, if anyone was following along, they have the same equity I have, and that way I can stay true to my word on everything that will hit. So that will hit the marks that we need to. But one final note, so I did draw that line to 10-1. If I go to a 4-hour, you'll see it. So see, this is the trajectory we need to keep. So we want a strong impulse off of it, right? And that's where we close it. Anything that dips too far below it, we'll just exit. But it did pivot perfectly at the ABC, and the next 4 hours of trading, which begins at 1:30, should be very bullish on AMC. And if we pull up some studies, it should be starting to show some buy actions on like a 9-minute or something. Not yet, but it will. All right, that's it. I got to go do some other work. I appreciate you all, and let's fucking crush the end of the day here on AMC. High hopes for it, like very high. This is expected. There's no volume behind it, so this will shift bullish, and then we should see 42 by the end of the day. And that's my anticipations on AMC. All right. Cheers, everyone.